Hello and welcome back to Path of Radiance 0% Growths. We are about to do Chapter 18. First, we get our look at the MVP for Chapter 17. I guess this is all of Chapter 17 was Stefan, probably mostly on account of 17.3, the defense chapter, I would guess. Anyway, as usual, I will be right back after I do some stuff in the base. Okay, so there's definitely some things to note. First thing, which actually isn't especially notable among these things, is that Ike has been promoted. This doesn't really matter too much for the most part. He does get +1 movement, which is probably the most important thing. And probably the second most important thing is that his build increases, so he can shove more people and rescue more people, which... like, without really compromising too much who he can be shoved and rescued by, because, you know, mostly I'm using mounted units, but it means he can shove, I think he couldn't shove Volk before. I think he weighed 8, I want to say. Anyway. So, that's nice. He does have better stats, but not better enough that it really makes an impact. Like, I think his stats are still only comparable to, like, Oscars or something. Like, yeah, I guess they're a little bit better than Oscars, but they're not good by any stretch of the imagination. I guess they're actually not that much worse than Marsha's at this point, but still, he's not going to be somebody I'm putting into combat just because he got promoted. Anyway, what else? We've got some new units to talk about, starting with Tanith. So I've been talking about Tanith for a little while now, I think, in the context of the boots. I did not decide to give her the boots, but nonetheless, she's very good. So she's got 24 speed, which is obviously outstanding. 16 strength is also quite good. It's not like miles better than like Jill, Titania, Kiran, but it is noticeably better. And in conjunction with her speed, she definitely has much better damage output. She's got some of the most reliable damage output on the team. I mean, Stefan obviously is going to be better. He's got slightly better speed and significantly better strength. But, like, she's got the better weapon type. She's got the better mobility. She's got flight. She's got better defenses. So, yeah, I mean, all around, she's definitely a much better unit. And in addition to all of that, she's also got the reinforce ability, which allows her to call in Holy Guard units, which are actually really quite strong. Like, strong enough that, you'd be happy to field them, especially in 0% growths. Like, as part of your own team, I mean. Not just as, like, you know, distraction or cannon fodder or whatever. Anyway, so yeah, Tanith, really, really good unit. Super glad to have her here. I also forged a lance for her. So I actually do have now the ability to forge hand axes and javelins. And I did consider that, but the upgrade that a forged javelin represents over like the short spear or the spear like isn't as significant. And you know, I think overall I need the direct, or the one range forge damage more than I need the 2 range forge damage. I mean, I probably will be forging javelins and or hand axes at some point, but for now, I just forged another lance. What else is there to say? Oh, and then of course we got Rayson. So Rayson, of course, is also fantastic. He's a super dancer, compared to, you know, the dancers or other, like, you know, ally refresh ability units in other games. He is better in a couple of respects. First of all, he can transform, and then when he is transformed, in his case, it's chanting. Chants for all of the allies around him rather than just a single target. Which is amazing. Chanting for 4 people is so ridiculously good. And also he flies, which is, like, I don't think there's any other games in the series outside of Tellius where dancers have flight. And not only does he fly, but when he's transformed, he gains movement. Specifically, he actually gains 3 movement, which is more than the other Lagoos gain, I think. Actually, I don't know. Let's see, just Janaf. Yeah, so Janaf, I think, goes from 6 to 8. Mordecai and Laith go from 7 to 9. But Racing goes from 5 to 8, except now he goes from 7 to 10 because I gave him the boots, as I mentioned that I would. Now, he doesn't have Kanto currently, but he will after we get the Night Ring in the next chapter. So when he's transformed, we will have a Dancer with 10 movement and Kanto and Flight, which is amazing. And also, he's very light, which is actually really good because it means he can be very easily shoved or rescued. So that's also fantastic. It's just all around great. He also has like a couple of other things. Blessing restores HP to adjacent units. That's, I mean, it can come into play, but it's not super important. Statistically, I mean, his stats don't matter that much, but for what it's worth, he's actually pretty fast, pretty lucky, pretty resisty, and pretty dodgy because of the high luck and speed. So, like, you don't want him to take damage or be involved in combat in general. But for what it's worth, if he does get attacked and he can survive and he's untransformed, that will help fill his gauge. You have to do it twice, I think, for it to matter. Because like every other Lagoos, he fills his gauge at a rate of 4 per turn. His gauge has 20 to fill. So if you add 2 in the middle of that process, it doesn't change the intervals. Right, like how many turns it's going to take to fill up. But if it happens twice, then it'll fill up a turn faster. So that is something to consider. I mean, in general, he's probably not going to survive physical attacks, at least. Magical attacks he will. But anyway, just something to think about. Yeah. So, and then we do have 2 more units to talk about. First is Janaf. So Janaf. We get the 2 Hawk Lagoos, Janaf and Ulki. Janaf is the Laith of the pair, and Ulki is the Mordecai of the pair with respect to their gauges. So Janaf starts out transformed. Like right now, his gauge is at 16, but he gains 4 at start of turn, so he goes up to 20. And his stats are pretty good. He's got 20 speed transformed, and I want to say 19 strength, so he gains like 6 strength. And I forget exactly how much defense, maybe like 14 or 15. Maybe it's a little lower than that. But anyway, I mean, those are pretty good stats. So, you know, he definitely like outclasses Laith in speed and damage. Probably outclasses Mordecai as well, come to think of it, in damage. Obviously in speed. If we compare him to Muarim, there's Muarim. He actually is a bit faster, but Muarim has more damage. So Muarim does 29 damage, whereas Janaf, I want to say, does 26. And that's without accounting for the fact that Muarim has the Demi-Band equipped. If you gave the Demi-Band to Janaf, obviously, that the stats would be more in his favor. Not that that matters so much, because you're not taking the Demi-Band off of Muarim, because then his gauge isn't full, so... but in any case, the point is that Janaf... Janaf definitely has usable stats, and while he doesn't... Unfortunately, unlike Radiant Dawn, he doesn't have Kanto, which is a big loss. He's still definitely usable, and I will be fielding him. The same cannot so much be said for Ulki. So Ulki has a couple of problems that lead him to being considered actually one of the worst units in Path of Radiance. The first is that, unlike Janaf, his gauge starts, well, not completely empty, but pretty low. And then the other problem is that his stats are not, unlike Janaf, his stats are much more balanced away from speed. So he's only got 12 untransformed speed compared to Janaf's 17. That's a huge loss. I think, let's see, that's the same as Laith, despite the fact that he's joining much later. So while I mean his stats aren't bad by any means, and in 0% growths, like they're fine, like they're definitely usable. But the problem is that because he doesn't start transformed, and unlike Mordecai, he doesn't have smite, and he's not this big heavy guy who can shove anything and everything. And he also has less movement untransformed. He's just not really useful until he transforms, and it takes him too long to transform for him to be useful. He's definitely still like, if you were like for a sufficiently long chapter, he would definitely be more useful in 0% growth than under normal circumstances because his stats are competitive. But the gauge thing really is a huge problem for him, and as a result, I will not be using him. But I will be using the other three. They're all good units. Alright, I think that's all that I need to say. So, let's get on with it. So, in terms of who we're deploying for this chapter, Ike, of course, Stefan, Morim, Kieran, Titania, Torma, Jill, Tanith, Rayson, Janaf, Mordecai, Volk, and Marcia. So the thought process here is that this chapter really prioritizes movement. So this is a route chapter, but it's one that has a very like hallway-esque layout, even though it's outdoors, because you cannot fly across these walls. So you just have to funnel everybody through here and then, you know, go all the way around and around and around and around and up and out to here. And there are some enemies that show up a few turns in, like out here. There are a few that start over here, but for the most part, everybody needs to surge forward. And so what that means is that it's like you want high movement to be able to move through here as quickly as possible. And moreover, you want Kanto so that you have, like, you know, maximum flexibility while you're doing it. So that is, I was actually looking at benching Marcia rather than Laith because Laith is a better combat unit, but Marcia has Kanto, and that is just more valuable here. The flight isn't so important. On turn 1, it does matter because she can fly over this cliff and get up here faster. But in general, it doesn't really matter because we're, like, all this terrain is just flat. So there's not really any reason to care. But yeah, that's... Now, I am bringing Stefan, and the reason for that is because there are some reinforcements that show up down here towards the end of the chapter. I need someone to kill them and kill them fast. That's going to be his job. He can't really keep up with the rest of the party moving its way across here anyway, which is unfortunate because he's good at killing things, but, you know, that's the importance of movement for you. So instead, he's going to just hang around near the entrance. Alright. I think that's probably all I need to say about any of that, so let's get started. So first thing I'm going to do is Janaf is just going to go over here and solo these 3 wyverns, and that's going to be what he does for this chapter. Now here we can see his transform stats. Yeah, it is 15 defense. Okay. I mean, it is a little bit of a waste of his combat, arguably, to do this, but on the other hand, like, I've got as good or better combat units that I can send forward, and he can cross the trees easily. He will, you know, after fighting for a while, untransform, and so that will render him useless at that point. And that doesn't, honestly, fighting these guys, like, uses up most of his gauge anyway, so... All around, I think that it turns out to be the best use of him. Meanwhile, we're going to have Morim come up and get the party started up here. Taking out this guy. And we can already put Rayson's flight to use because this is a cliff, but he can fly over it. Plus the boots that I gave him, he can move 7 instead of 5, so he can actually get to Morim here. Very nice. And then Morim is just going to take out this halberdier. Alright, and then, so we did put Racing in range of these enemies, or at least some of them. So we want to do something about that. So we're going to rescue him out of the way with Tanith and with Jill. And then, let's see. We are, so I mentioned that we're gonna have Stefan hang out near the entrance, but we are gonna at least bring him up here initially so that he can kill probably this archer. So to do that, we want to... Actually, hold on. Yeah, okay, I guess he's not going to shove anyone anyway, so that's fine. Just going to bring him over here like so. Have Titania rescue him. And Kieran take and drop him there. And then we want to... Let's see. Just get Ormod up here. I guess we could go ahead and do a little bit of rescue stuff with Volk and using Mordecai as well. Let's do that. So have Mordecai rescue Volk. Volk is here to open the treasure chest, of course. Yeah, I guess this is the best we can do. I was thinking about, like, could I have Ike shove Tormod forward first, but then Marcia couldn't have stopped there anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered. Okay. Muron's taking a lot of damage here. He's expected to take some, but I think he's gotten hit by every attack, which is not expected. Oh, hey, look, there's the healing actually coming into play. Cool. So... this guy's got a javelin. These two just have steel lances, so obviously we're gonna have Janov attack the guy with the ranged weapon. I pretty much three hit KOs, or maybe 4 hit KOs in some cases. All of these guys, which effectively means 2 rounds of combat because he's gonna double all of them. Okay, so now we need to test out something. Alright, Morim doesn't quite one round either of these guys, and I'm guessing Tanith will not either. Yeah, not quite. Very close. Very close. I think, yeah, not any of that either. Nope, 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 nope. Okay. While I'm thinking about that, let's go ahead and do this thing like I was talking about. Okay. Oh, and also we might as well do this. So yeah, what we want to do this turn, so I didn't really mention it yet, but there's 3 siege tomes on the map. There's this guy, and there's this guy. We want to take out this one guy this turn. They're not... the siege tomes aren't, like, that scary, partially because they're not that likely to hit, but it's still definitely nice to take them out because, you know, they're siege tomes. They can attack pretty much your whole team, and that means if you overlook something, like maybe they'll be able to pick up a kill or something. One thing that is interesting is that these walls count as 3 squares for the purpose of counting the Siege Tome range. So I can kind of show this off. Like if you look at this guy, he can move to here, and then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This square isn't covered because nobody's allowed to occupy that spot anyway. But they don't actually move, so that the range is somewhat misleading because they'll just stand in place. But the point is that like this approach is actually like pretty safe because like this guy's range is represented because he's as close to any of these spots as he wants to be, except maybe like this one. But this guy's range really isn't. Like, he only actually hits to, like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9... Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That seems farther than his range actually is. But whatever. The point is, like, it's not as far as it looks, because he has to... Because he's not going to, like... come over to here or walk around the corner or whatever. But yeah, we want to take this one guy out because this guy does have some coverage on like this area that we're going to be moving through. So, since we can't one-round either of these guys, what we want to do, ideally, is have Jill set up a kill, if possible. She has a good chance to miss. But if she doesn't miss, then we could actually get that kill. So we're going to go for this guy because he's slightly easier to hit. Hey, she got him. Okay, good. That'll help. So let's see. Oh, and then what we're probably going to want to do is send Kieran. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So Kieran can get exactly to here, and then we dance for him, and then he can get exactly to that sage. I'm going to have him hit this guy. And then we are going to need to shove Rayson to get him to here, although we're probably actually going to shove and smite him so he can get all the way to there. But first... gonna come up and take this guy out. We can do that with the sword, which is nice, because it improves our accuracy and our avoid. Hooray for that. And then Morin will not pick up the kill on this guy, but we might as well attack him. Now this guy has a hand axe. And let's see, 16 and 7 is 23 attack. So he is actually 1 damage short of killing Rayson. If he attacks him, which I am actually going to put Rayson in range to be attacked by him by putting him here. And the reason I'm going to do that is mostly just because I want Rayson to be moved forward, and as long as Rayson's not going to die, I don't really care if he gets attacked. In fact, it could fill his gauge faster, although, as I kind of talked about earlier, just having 1 attack, such attack doesn't do that, but we might end up putting Rayson in that position again. We'll see. Anyway, so we're going to have Ike come up and shove Rayson. And then Mordecai is going to smite. And we can dance, or chant, rather, for Kieran. We could obviously chant for Tanith, but then the guy could attack Rayson directly. That'd be no good. Plus Tanith's already a little further forward, so we get a little bit more movement this way anyway. Okay. And now... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... Okay, so if we shove Volk next turn... 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8... Yeah, he can pick up the treasure chest. So we're going to... Eventually, we're going to be rescuing Volk with, like, Marcia and or Titania and to transport him over here to get these other chests. But for now, since he's already, like, in position to do that, we're going to grab Tormod and just get him a little bit further forward. Oh. I actually didn't anticipate that he would run away and use a vulnerary. Okay, that's fine. Nothing I'm doing here is contingent on getting Racing attacked anyway, so... And here's the first of the reinforcements. And an annoying bit of reinforcements they are. Actually, we're not going to use... Or maybe we are. No, we'll use... Let's see. Yeah, well, okay, yeah, we'll use Ike to shove Volk. Get a recover staff. And then, let's see. Do want to heal Morin. It looks like that's the person who's injured. But we might want to heal him after we, well, I'll get back to that. What we want to do is like move Morim and Kieran and Tanith basically as far forward as we can without putting Kieran in a position where he gets attacked by this guy, and this guy. Because that, well, probably just this guy and this guy alone would be enough to kill him, assuming they hit, which the Bolting Mage or Sage probably won't, but... granted, we probably can't get Tanith far enough for it to really matter. Unless we're dancing for her, or chanting for her, but I think we're going to chant for Morim. So ideally... I mean, ideally we just get Morim as far forward as possible. If we chant for the spot where Kieran is, that's right here. But we could potentially shove Rayson with Stefan, in which case we can get him to here. Which isn't a whole lot different, but I think we'll go ahead and do that. So... yeah. And... I think that means that we are going to heal now. I'm just going to move to here. Could potentially have Tanith pick up this kill, or we could give it to Titania or Jill. I guess I'll figure that out later. But what I want to do is, let's see, so if Morim is here, this guy goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which means Kieran can safely go to here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, okay, we don't want to do that. So let's go ahead and put Kieran right there. I did give him the Night Ward, I didn't mention this, but just that little extra bit of resistance is enough for him to survive against these two, even if they both hit. Oh, I guess I didn't really talk about why I'm not going to use a Lagoo Stone on Rayson this chapter. The reason is basically just because it's a route. So it's, I mean, granted it's pretty linear, but like it's not like we, you know, are gonna like stone him turn 1, do a 4-way dance turn 2, and that allows us to clear the chapter on turn 3 or anything like that. All right, so we're gonna want to continue to move. Rayson and Tormod forward. We can't do both this turn. Rayson is definitely the most important one, so I think what we're gonna do let's see, is, yeah, plan to shove Volk a bunch next turn, and actually, I guess we could have Marsha rescue Tormod. Yeah, we can have... Just want to check. This guy hits that spot, he doesn't. Okay. Jill doesn't really want to take the bonus damage from the Blizzard there. Oh, we do kind of need to take this guy out, I guess. Or maybe we don't, actually. He is going to use a Vulnerary. 4 is 27. Yeah, Tormod survives against him. Rayson will probably not even be able to be attacked. Maybe I won't, actually. Maybe I'll just leave him alone. Okay, yeah, I can get behind that. The plan. And... yeah... This will give you the Sonic Sword so you can retaliate. And, yeah, we're gonna set... So Volk is gonna come 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Shove with Ike, shove with Stefan, smite with Mordecai. Oh, you know what else we can do? Does it make more sense? I guess smiting Titania doesn't actually do a whole lot. I think we're actually better off shoving Marsha. Okay, that was exciting. Alright, so now obviously we take out the guy with the Javelin. And the other two die on enemy phase. They don't have any vulneraries, so they won't be running away. Yep, he just heals. Which is fine. That guy goes after Jill, but... well, if he misses, it doesn't matter. Hi, Shinon. Oh, we didn't even talk about Shinon. Hey, no, don't hit with the... it's my Brave Bow. It's rude. Yeah, so Shinon, you have to bring Rolf to recruit him. Specifically, you have to bring Rolf, talk to Shinon with Rolf, and then kill Sean with Ike in order to re-recruit him. And that's not something I'm remotely willing to do. Ooh, nice. Let's go, Moram. So we're just going to kill Shinon. It's okay, he deserves it. Okay, so let's move Volk up, shove him with Stefan, shove him with Ike, smite him with Mordecai. I really would like to heal Moram. Ooh, one space short. That's annoying. Just say Mordecai and mean Moram, whatever. Let's see. This guy is doing 19, so 12 damage. So he won't die from that. I could dance, or chant, rather, for mod. I'd really rather not. Guess I will if I have to. Something I could consider is... Oh, never mind. Never mind. Alright, how about... How about we do this? Use the spear. I guess I'll also move Janok over this way. As you can see, his cage is almost empty. So. And let's see how to do this. I think what we'll do... I think I will... Well... I mean, of course, I could just use a vulnerary or something, but... Let's see... Probably wouldn't be safe to put him in range of the boss. Especially if this guy with the Laguz Lance is alive. He actually does rather a lot of damage. Yeah... I think... That's a no. I don't think we can one round him with the hammer either. Oh, we can! Hello. Alright. Alright, that changes things a bit. Might actually not need to heal. So 7 damage plus 8 damage is not enough to kill. Now there is this guy who's doing like 11 damage. But if we have... Let's see, Kiran, 1, 2, 3... 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if we dance or chant for Kiran, have Kiran take this guy out. And then take out the other armored dude. Need to check this guy's damage. 22. Okay, he doesn't kill Raisin. So we can put Raisin in his range if we want to. Nice. Oh, wait. Oh, I see the problem. Alright, so there's a little bit of a risk here. That this guy plus the Blizzard Mage kill him. I feel like I've committed to the strategy, though, by where I positioned my units. Alright, I don't really want Kieran to fight one of these guys with a hammer, so we're just gonna keep him out of range of that. Next turn we will have Super Racing. Ow. Alright, so... We do need to get Volk moving here. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, it'd be to here, really, and then one take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we can do that. At this point, we might as well move Jill back this... Well, I guess she could be useful over here. Alright. Yep, gonna attack Rayson. Ow! Ow. Alright, I think everything's fine. Didn't even go for Morim, and we should be able to get a double heal in this turn with Tormod. And we have the Super Bird. That's not doing a whole lot. But Mordecai. That's better. Okay. Don't really need Mordecai in the back anymore anyway. We are going to send Stefan over here in preparation for the arrival of reinforcements. And... Alright, so what are we doing here? Kieran, can you... No. Okay. And where are we going to chant? Could be here if we wanted Morim to do this, or we could Canto and have it be like somewhere over here. It's hard to get a 4-person chant over here, but we do want, ideally, to chant more over here so that we can be in position to run up and take out these two this turn. So I think... Oh, actually... Yeah, well, probably what that means is we're not chanting for Morim. Well, maybe we'll just do a 3-person one with... Morim, Kieran... Or, well... It's just too bad that these guys are not here and here or something. Then Morim could attack a 4-person chant position. But I think what we are going to do is probably rescue drop. Tormod into a position to be part of it. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So Kieran is in a position to hit this guy with a hand axe. Let's see if 20 attack. Yeah, that's not a kill. So we need him to get all the way there, which means not dancing for Kieran or chanting for Kieran doesn't work unless Morim takes this guy out and Tanith takes out the boss, which definitely is an option. Definitely is an option. The other thing we could do, actually, is just put Morim, like, over here without having him attack anything. That work? Not sure. Let's go ahead and heal Kieran. Because if we're going to rescue drop Tormod, we need these two available, which means we don't have anybody available to kill this guy. In theory, we can leave that to Titania and Jill, like, into the next turn. mean, at a minimum, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, I want Tanith in front either which way. But I guess yeah, she does a good amount of damage to that guy. So maybe what we do. Oh, okay. Well, that sort of clinches that. Yeah, probably we're just not going to heal more in this turn. I think that's how it's going to play out. This guy does 15. It's like 8 damage, 20 and 22. Come on. Deciding on that, we'll do this. Silence. So we could probably, yeah, let Kieran be the one to take out this guy. Let Morim take out this guy, at which point he's not really 20 and 22, right? So 6 and 8 is not enough to kill him, assuming those two can even get to him. I think that might be the way to go. Alternatively, we bring over like Jill, but Jill not as... I mean, this guy has like almost no AS. He has 6 AS, so I mean, he's definitely... She can definitely take him out. Maybe that is what I should do then. Do like Morim attacking here. Ow. And Jill. That guy. You know what I could do? Well, it's not urgent that I do it right now anyway, but, if... I danced for Tanith here, I could use her reinforce command. The reason I want to use this, I haven't mentioned this yet, is there's reinforcements that pop up down here. Her reinforcements pop up like around the starting location, so they can help take them out. Does that work? I end up using... I think I'd rather not. But I should be able to summon them next turn without too much difficulty. Wait, Titania can't get in range, right? Nope. Alright, so Jill, you take out this guy. And you take out this guy. Nice. Let's see if that thing happens again where he gets actually more HP than he was supposed to. Yep, it did. I don't know if that's a bug or what, but... Alright, Tanith does take a lot of damage from this guy because of the bonus damage. against flyers from the Wind Tome, but luckily she doesn't take much damage from other sources, and we can get some healing up to her next turn too. Speaking of which, we actually want to, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, well, he's just gonna heal more. So I guess that's, yeah, we are gonna rescue him next turn, but we're gonna do it next turn and not this turn. Ike, whatever, you don't need to do anything. Ooh, nice. Let's go, Kieran. Yeah, so these Ravens are really like the big problem, because at this point, we've gotten the rest of the map cleared, but they're just far away, just hard to get to, and that gives the reinforcements time to show up, which is pretty annoying. So let's, as I talked about, heal Mormod, or sorry, heal Morim. Open this chest as well. Alright, and can grab so, I guess the other thing I should mention is Tanith is pretty good at one-rounding these guys, and not a whole lot of my other units are, so ultimately that's what I plan to do. Unfortunately, like, none of these guys are ready to transform. These guys, 2 of these guys are, but those other 2 aren't, which is annoying because that means they won't attack me, so I can't really finish the map this turn. And the reinforcements show up at the end of this turn, so again, it's pretty annoying. There's actually 2 waves of reinforcements, so my goal is to finish the map next turn before the second wave shows up. Because it's bigger and has a paladin in it. So, yeah. Anyway, I think I'm going to do Ski Tormod. Have 6, 7. Let's just have Tanith get this kill. Really need plans for that. Save it a little bit. And another annoying thing about these guys is that, or about this part of the map, is that this cliff, like, I can't attack these guys directly with anybody but a flyer. This will move Moarm around. It probably isn't going to accomplish anything, but we might as well do it. So yeah, our goal is going to be to like pick off a couple of the untransformed ones that are weaker with our not so fast units, and then let Tanith enemy phase the ones that are transformed. To facilitate that, we're also going to rescue Racing forward. Let's do it like this. Oh, did I do this? I think this is fine. It doesn't really matter exactly how far forward we move Racing, because we're not going to be... He doesn't need to be, like, super duper close. Oh, I didn't reinforce. Oops. I don't think it matters, though. Or maybe... maybe it does. I don't know. I hope it doesn't. Blech. I mean, I did have stuff I wanted to do, but yeah, I should have killed that guy with somebody else and had Tanith reinforced before I chanted for her. Mistake. Alright, well, yeah, these three aren't doing... I guess I'll move Urkai over here, just in case. Alright, there are those reinforcements. As promised. So this guy will transform, this guy will transform, this guy and this guy will not. So we really actually only need to take out this one guy, probably. But definitely prefer to take out as many as possible just in case Tanith doesn't one-round them. So like, let's see... Yeah, I mean, with this, she's one-rounding that one pretty comfortably. We're definitely not going to avoid getting doubled by her, so it probably isn't a risk. Yeah, let's see the numbers on any of the other ones. Dang. Alright, so let's see. Where do we want to set up our chant? The thing is, we want to stay far enough back that we don't let them attack somebody who isn't Tanith when they're transformed, because none of the other units will double them. So I think to facilitate that, I'll have Tanith kill this one and this one, and Kieran and Jill can kill this one, probably. Or actually, 10, 20, no. No, but we can make a direct attack. So, we go based on this guy's attack range. We want to chant here, out of range. Seems fine. Yeah, that'll happen. I guess we also need to do... Ooh, wait, no, let's do this. It looks like I'm going to take out one more than I was planning to, but that's obviously fine. Oh, actually... yeah, we want to take out... oh, right, we need to take out this one. Right, never mind. No. All is actually according to Keikaku. Oh, I didn't reinforce again. I just realized that. Ah, okay, it's fine. Stefan should be able to get the job done. Reinforce is just like in case he doesn't for some reason. Bang. That being said, we might actually have to use his forge to make sure we do enough damage. Steel sword will not guarantee a kill. Silver blade, that pretty much guarantees a kill. Killing edge, not quite enough. Big Cotty, that very much guarantees a kill. Alright, let's just use it. I do feel bad about not reinforcing. It's such a cool ability, but what you gonna do? Dan, it's so busy. But there you have it. Oh, no, wait, no, just kidding. There you don't have it. There you're about to have it. There we go. Well, that was a long one, but there you actually have it in 7 turns. So, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time for Chapter 19, in which we get to face Nasala, get the Night Ring, and it's not a route map, so until then.